Today I want to talk to you about how to run a successful IEP meeting. I am 9 years into teaching, and I will tell you not every IEP meeting is the same. You're going to have some really easy ones, some really hard ones, and then most of them are going to fall somewhere in between. Today I actually get to film during the day because we have an unexpected snow day. Louie's here with me just chilling and hanging out. That's why we're on the couch. We're just relaxing and having a wonderful day. It's going to be your no bullshit way to run a successful IEP meeting. Number one, your no BS tip is to prepare yourself. Prepare for the meeting, get your data, get your document written in a timely manner, send your draft home if you have to do that, or if you don't, just make sure your draft is prepared prior to the meeting. The more prepared you feel going into the meeting, the more prepared you are going to feel for the meeting. Number two, make sure all the team members have confirmed their attendance. Little things like that used to stress me out with IEP meetings because I would send out invites and then I was always worried that the team members wouldn't show up. So now I send reminders just to make sure, but make sure you confirm with the team members that they'll be there. There's nothing more stressful than sitting in the conference room, waiting for your gen ed teacher to arrive and not sure if they're actually going to be there. And then you got to scramble and find one. So just make sure everyone's confirmed before the meeting. That's going to lessen your stress. Next, try to start the meeting right on time. Sometimes it's hard. I like to be at least 5 minutes early to my meetings, but then that kind of causes me stress because not everyone can show up 5 minutes before. A lot of times my admin or gen ed teacher, they won't arrive until right when the meeting starts. So make sure after everyone gets in and gets settled and you walk the parents in or the parents come into the conference room, just go ahead and get the meeting started because we don't want to waste anyone's time. Everyone's time is precious and we want to get this shit going, get the show on the road. Next, just make sure you welcome everyone to the meeting. That's a great segue into starting is just people are going to have these fucking side conversations before the meeting starts and no one really wants to be rude, but just kind of over everyone, be welcome everyone to the meeting, and that will kind of hush everyone up and get started. And just make sure you go through those first few bullet points and checklist points that you have to do for your meeting in your county. You go over introductions, you offer parent rights, all of those things that you have to do. Welcome everyone and then get that stuff started. Another thing I like to do as we get going, right before we dive into the IEP, is I like to ask the parents if they read the draft because that's kind of your homework. I have to legally send a draft 48 hours home. I bust my butt to make sure that it's done on time, and I want to know if they actually read through it. This will help you because if they did read through it, you won't feel like you have to go through word by word for each part of the IEP. You can start to paraphrase and really summarize all of the things that you've put into the IEP and make sure you hit the high points though, and make sure that they understand, what you're discussing and what they've read prior. If they haven't read through it, might be a little bit trickier. And if they have any questions as you go through the document, obviously they are free to ask. Next, I use the IEP as a guide for my talking points. So a lot of times it's hard to just kind of get started, but the first page can help you out a whole lot. And then just go through point by point, the student's overall performance and strengths, parent concerns, the, impact statement, all of those things go through, and it's going to look different for every state and every county. Just use the IEP as your talking points and even make notes on your draft so you know what you want to say when you get in the meeting, because a lot of times if you're running your first few meetings or you're still kind of new to running meetings, you might forget what you had originally wanted to say. So just make notes of that stuff. As you go through the IEP, make sure the parents know that their input is so important and that they are an important member of the team, just as important as any school member, and make sure that they know, how much you care about their child and that their input is valued and is going to be a part of the finalized IEP document. You want the parents to know and you want the parents to feel like, and it should feel like, a collaborative process when you're writing the IEP. Yes, you as the educator, you are, the expert in what is going on at school, but the parents are the expert of their children because who to know them best than their parents. You want to make sure that it's a collaborative process and everyone feels like it's a collaborative process. Also, that goes for if the student is present. As you get into high school, my kids are at the IEP meetings and I want their voice to be heard. I want them to have a say because it's a document for them, and I want them to be able to say, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I feel like I need, this is what I feel like I would like, and make sure that their input is included as well. Obviously, as you're going through the IEP, you're just going to make changes and collaborate as needed. Before you conclude that meeting, you need to make sure everyone's on the same page, everyone knows what's going on. If parents feel comfortable signing, go ahead and do that, just so we know that everything can be finalized. You don't want any gray areas when it comes to being in agreement with the IEP document, because you don't ever want the parent to come back and say, I did not agree to this, I didn't understand this, I didn't know this. So just kind of confirm that all team members are in agreement. You'll get a feel for that when you're in the meeting. If they're not in agreement or they're not comfortable, then they won't sign the IEP, which is okay. If they don't sign the IEP, it's fine, don't freak out. But if you feel like everyone is in agreement and you're getting really good, vibes from the parents in terms of how the discussions have gone for the meeting, go ahead and pass signature pages around and just confirm that everyone is agreement and that this is going to be the finalized document. Tip is just, follow through with your paperwork after the meeting. Confirm with the parents that you're going to send home the paperwork. Let them know. I'll be sending home the finalized copy. If you need them to send home papers back, make sure you communicate that to them. And you've just successfully run your IEP meeting. IEP meetings don't have to be scary. I still get anxious before meetings just because you never know what type of discussions are going to come up or what's going to be brought to the table. So, but the more prepared you are, the better you're going to feel, and they get easier and easier with time. Louie and I are going to go enjoy our snow day, and I'll see you in the next video.